Sea views, sea views, sea views. Everyone wants an amazing sea view, and today we're talking about the top developments across the Costa del Sol with the most impressive and most breathtaking views. Are you guys ready? Let's go. So, Matteo,
Yeah,
welcome back.
thank you.
You've been busy, you've been with clients?
Yes, very busy. I have some viewings more today, so...
Okay, so
Yeah.
we won't take too much of your time.
No.
So, Matteo, we've decided to do this video
Uh-huh.
because we've had actually a few people request it, right? So we've had people in the audience, actually a client that was with Kim a few weeks ago, a good client who I call Rich, asked for it too, you know, because like do a video that talks about the top developments with sea views in the Costa del Sol. So there are so many developments that offer incredible views
Yes.
that it's very difficult to fit them in one video, right?
Yes, the Costa del Sol is so big that there's so many. But I
Exactly.
think we have a good list now of the
Yeah.
best ones from Málaga to Manilva.
Exactly. So how we're going to structure this, Matteo, is basically you've come up with, you know, top 10, right?
Yes.
So how would you sort of start? Like, should we start maybe, you know, Manilva, or should we start, let's start Malaga? Like, you
I
know,
would start Málaga too,
okay,
yeah.
perfect. So what are the best developments with the best sea views?
Actually, the first one is Termica Beach. It's on the whole coast. We only have 2 beachfront developments, and this is one of them. So Termica Beach is built by Ayadas. It's a beachfront in Málaga. They have 1, 2, and 3 beds. Starting price now for 2 beds is I think 720. To be completely honest, that one does not have sea view.
Really?
No, it's on the back side of the development.
Oh, you mean the unit at 720 hasn't got a sea view?
Yes.
Right, okay.
But most of them have beautiful, beautiful panoramic sea views.
So the ones at the front of the
Yes.
building have, I mean, it's essentially beachfront, right?
It is beachfront, yeah.
I mean, I've seen the photos of Termica, and we're going there next week. We're going as a team to have a look at the site. I think it's actually quite nice that you can walk out and straight onto the beach.
Yes, it's less than 1 minute, I think.
Exactly.
Just have to cross the road and you're on the beach.
And 720 up until
5 million.
5 million.
Yes.
And how many properties are in Termica? Do you
I
know?
think 172, 73.
172.
Yes.
Yeah. So the front line of Malaga right now is super popular.
Yes.
And you know, it's nice to see all these developments, all developers bring product to these areas, because you know Malaga has, you know, for the past 10 years had very little developments.
Yes.
So it's nice to see, you know, Octavia, Termica,
Exactly.
Sierra Blanca Towers,
Yes.
and so many small ones popping up.
I mean, there's a few plots left, but to find a beachfront one, it's now a good time to buy, I think, because we can see in other places like Torremolinos, Peñalolén, up to Manilva, there's nothing except from New Bay. There's no beachfronts left.
That's right.
So if you want to buy like an off-plan beachfront, you kind of have to do it now, because if you wait much longer, there's nothing left.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, generally speaking, all the beachfront plots have been built in the past. So like, there's very, I mean, if we talk about beachfront sea view development, it's like literally 2 or 3.
It's true.
2. Okay. Okay.
At this moment.
At this moment. So moving on, onto the next development that you would say is, you know, got impressive sea views, with sea views being like the center of the requests for clients. What would you say would be number 2 or next in line?
I would say in Higueron, Karat Sky Villas.
I love Casares Sky
Yes.
Villas.
It's absolutely beautiful. They have 2 blocks east facing, 2 blocks south facing, perfect amenities. Actually, the first phase is going to be finished very soon. So if you buy now, you can kind of go in it this summer already.
Wow.
I think starting price for 2 bed is 900,000. They go up to 2.8 million.
Yeah.
Like Kim says, if you go there, it feels like you can touch the sea. It's
Yeah,
like,
I love that description.
yeah.
So talking about Karat, right, and something like I, you know, sort of when I'm out with clients and seeing properties, is you have developments which are further up in the mountain and have, you know, a very nice
Yes.
sea view. The nice thing about El Higueron and the nice thing about Karat is that if you sort of look at the mountain, it's really a steep mountain. And here's Karat, so the sort of the view is much more than a panoramic sea view. I would call that sort of a balcony view. Like, it's literally so impressive. It's a what I call a deep sea view.
Yeah.
And actually, Ines sold a penthouse in there last month to a client from Sweden.
Yeah.
And like, it's, you know, like, it's sort of jaw dropping when you see those views. Like, oh, wow.
Yes, I mean, it's very close to the beach as well, and I think they have like a shuttle service that brings you up and down.
Yeah.
Not that it's not that far, but if you can't walk or it's a bit hilly, you can just take the shuttle and you will be there in, I think, 1 minute.
I mean, it's a premium product, premium design. Good. Okay, so then sort of staying in that line, moving that way, we're now on number 2. What will be number 3 going towards Marbella?
Horizonte Village is very nice. They have apartments and villas. It's like on the hill, beautiful open views. Actually, we went together to the presentation.
That was a few months ago.
Yes,
It's
a
amazing.
few months ago. It's really nice. Big units, good qualities.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's on the basically just beneath Buena Vista, and a bit similar to Karat. I think the Karat views are, in my opinion, a bit better, but those views are just equally as impressive. Like you can't really say, that well, you can't really say that. But Karat's a bit more balcony view, but Horizonte is fantastic. They haven't started works yet, if I'm not mistaken, and it's actually quite early stages.
In Horizonte, you will more have like a view of like the sea and the village.
Yeah.
Karat is more like all sea.
Yeah, just blue.
Like sea.
Blue. I love that. It's what Kim says. Literally, you can touch the sea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be number 4?
I think then we go to Mijas, to Kalanova Collection with lovely James. I actually saw him last week.
Oh yeah? James
yeah.
is a nice guy.
They have, it's a good project, Kalanova Golf, good amenities, a pool. If you like golfing, perfect development. Completion end of 2026.
Yeah, so very
South
close.
facing. Actually, it's built in a way that they all have sea views. So they're kind of built in front of each other.
Yeah.
But even the ground floor, for example, from block 7 above, they all have sea views because they don't overlap.
Yeah.
So you cannot not have a sea view.
Yeah.
Next to the golf, I think price is like 600,000-700,000. Very nice project. Yeah.
So like when Kalanova was first launched, we were one of the first agencies to bring it to market, and we've sold a lot of property in Kalanova Collection. And to this day, all of our clients are very happy. And I think like one of the nice things about, just talking about the view for 1 second, is when you sort of look out of Kalanova, you have, first of all, the golf course beneath you. Then you have the sea view. But what's also very nice is that towards the left, towards the east, you have the mountains of Mijas. So it's a nice little mix, and also price, quality, yeah, fantastic. It's also very close to Tlaxcala, 5 minutes drive. So
5 minutes, yeah.
So what's our next stop? I feel like I'm on a little excursion here.
In East Marbella, I would say Medblue is nice. In Los Monteros, first phase is completely sold out. They've 2 units left in phase 2, completion next year. And if 1 phase 3, they still have units available, completion in 2 years, I think.
Yeah. I have one of my clients from Miami, Spanish man, Spanish family that lived in Miami for many years. They bought a Medblue, and I remember when I first had contact with him, and it's funny that we have this sort of conversation now, is he bought a 1.5 year golf plan, right?
Yes. Oh,
in phase 2.
He did
very well. And I remember, the conversation I had with him. He said to me, "I want to be sitting on my terrace." This was exactly the first conversation I had with him. He was like, "Kian, I want to be sitting on my terrace in the evening with a cigar overlooking the Mediterranean Sea." And I told him, "Okay, what were your requirements?" And he said, "I want X, Y, Z." And I said, "I've got the perfect property for you in Alto de los Monteros." I remember, with his wife, he walked on the plot, and he said, "Kian, this is it. It's of course, it's a bit further up in the mountain. Like, I think Kalanova, Karat, they're a bit closer to amenities. Medblue is a bit further up, but it's for people that want to have that sort of, country feel with a good sea view." What's the starting prices in Medblue?
500,000
500,000.
for 500,000-600,000 for a 2-bed. Now a 3-bed is 700,000 in phase 3.
But they're being blocked for a few months. Are they
Yes,
now
they
available?
Just came back on the market.
They just came back on the
I think
market,
this week. Yeah.
Yeah. So for people that don't understand why developers do that, actually, it's good that we can talk about it now.
Yeah.
Is developers in Spain don't want to bring everything out at once, so they want to sell in stages.
Yes.
And we haven't had stock in Medblue for like months.
Since December.
Since December, so 5 months.
I've been waiting. They still blocked some units. I'm still waiting.
That's interesting. Like for a lot of clients of ours, our job is to know the inventory of the different developments at different times.
Yes.
Right? Okay, what's next?
Then we go from Marbella to Benahavís. We don't have that many projects for sale in Benahavís, but the sky. Like a lot of people ask me when I just moved to Spain, like, what is that sign? What is that sign? The Sky Marbella, but no one knew where it was.
Yeah.
But now it has been out for a few months.
Yeah.
Very big apartments, very nice for Benahavís. 50 apartments.
Wow, super boutique.
I think 130 to 150 usable, so they're very spacious, very high quality. Starting price is 1.5 million. On top of the hill, you'll never lose your view. Yeah, I mean.
So, and the sky is basically next to one of the most popular developments that's ever happened in Marbella called The View.
Yes.
So, like, yes, you're talking a 1.4, 1.5 million euros, but I think like they're ultra luxury, ultra high end apartments that bring a different level of quality and finishes. And even though it's in Benahavís, it's just 5 minutes from San Pedro, so it's quite well located.
It's very nice. Yeah, they also have villas for sale. They're a bit more expensive. They're like from 6.5 million. Massive villas, more than 800 square meter usable. So villas, beautiful views. Some of them look at the sea, some of them look at them at El Madrenal. Yeah,
I think
quality-wise, like it's amazing. Yeah.
So for people which don't know the coast very well, it's actually important to mention that Marbella and Benahavís, they sort of intertwine. So you've got areas of Benahavís which are so close to Marbella, actually they're closer to Marbella than they are to Benahavís town.
Yes.
So like La Quinta and where this development is, where the view is, actually you're closer to Marbella or you're closer to San Pedro than you are to the Benahavís town. It's crazy. And Benahavís is massive.
And now we go to the project I like the most, also where I have the most viewings.
This is easy. Everyone knows.
It's in the new Golden Mile in Estepona. It's I will start first with Marine Hills.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Big surprise.
Oh.
Everyone in the office, so inside joke in the office is everyone knows that Matteo is just in love with Marine Hills and you're there all the time. I think you also really believe in the project, you believe in the product, you believe in you like the prices, you like the developer. Tell us about it.
Like the fun thing I like about Marine Hills even more is we actually have a video of Marine Hills in the beginning stages.
Yeah, I remember we
like
did that video.
and we went on the hill, like you can see us go on the hill.
Yeah.
And it's still a hill. If you go now, they're building block 3 now, the best one. Yeah. And you can see the different levels and what they will look like. So you can see the view from like the ground floor.
Yeah.
And they're now building the penthouse. So now I go with the clients to the plot. And even the lower ones, the view is already like, wow. Like, because when we started selling it, it's like, you're still like kind of speculating, like what will it look like?
Yeah, totally.
And you're like, oh, the view will be amazing. But then I went and the view is amazing.
Amazing.
So I'm very happy that the people that bought, they have amazing views.
So we've sold a lot in Marine Hills, and I remember very well. I have some lovely clients of mine from Arizona, they're from the US, and they bought a property in Marine Hills, and one of their main requirements was view, and that's what was sold. And with them at that moment, we could just get close enough to the plot to have a look at what the view is like. Unfortunately, now you can't get on the plot anymore, so people have to check out the video we did back then.
Starting price?
What's the starting price?
They start from like 520, I would say.
Great value for money.
Yes, for 3 beds. Open view, that one not really the best view. And they go up to like 1 million for a penthouse.
But the average nice view apartment, 650 more or less,
650, 700, yes.
Yeah.
They also have launched some new villas. They go from 1.3 to 1.5.
Oh, the ones at the bottom.
Yes,
yeah, they're
it's
lovely.
same way they did villas with a private pool.
Yeah.
They're very nice, yeah.
Okay, so what's next?
I mean, if you want something that's finished this year with very good views, it's actually just above Marine Hills. It's called Libella.
Yeah.
Then they have Lebella, then they have the second phase AOS. And actually the on-site told me last week that they will be launching a third phase.
Oh, we love that. Nice information.
It will be complete off-plan. We don't have information yet, but they all look very nice. Design-wise, Aeda's very nice. I was last week in Libella. It looks amazing, yeah.
So one of the things about Lebella, and this is an interesting fact that people won't know until...
I know what you're going to tell.
Yeah, okay, so I don't know if you know this, Luna, but this is one of the only places in the world where you have a sea view, and at night you might hear a lion roar. It's because just beneath it is the Selvo Adventure Park.
Yes.
So like in the evening, you could very well hear a lion roar. How cool is that? Like that's you build that into the. They don't even have that in the brochure. If I was a developer, I would definitely use that as a selling point.
No. Also, the good thing about Lebella is the completion of the first phase is actually this year. Oh, so now they have finally have a show house. Yeah. Beautiful views. They have south facing, east facing, west facing. Beautiful sunset. You can see the lions, you can see the sea. Kind of perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good amenities. second phase will be finished 2026, and then I think the new phase will be 2027, 2028. So a bit of everything for everyone. Starting price 650 up to 1.8 million for the new penthouse.
But the penthouses are insane. Like
It's,
they are like, you know, the entire building practically
yes,
top,
the
right?
terrace is like 320 square meters.
You can play football on that terrace.
Yes. You can put a pedal field on that terrace.
That's crazy. Just think about that for 1 second.
And private pool and everything, but it's very nice, yeah.
You know, now we're in New Golden Mile. Where do you want to go next? What area? And I think we should finish around Manilva. Okay.
I would go to Casares.
Okay.
Very nice project is Nalu Suites.
Yep.
First phase is nearly completely sold out. They have a few units left. It's quite boutique, the first phase. They have starting price 850 up to 1 million now. But qualities are amazing. Size is amazing, view is amazing. Perfect for like full-time living, like if you want to be very calm, beautiful apartments. But they have 2 more phases coming. They actually have someone on the waiting list for like the second phase. They will have, the views will be more like mountain views, but the qualities will be amazing. And then the third phase will be, I think, their best phase. But
With amazing sea views.
yeah, it's like southwest facing, beautiful views. But
Wow.
yeah, we're waiting.
It's very close to Cortesin, and that entire area, we did a whole video on West Estepona. We call it West Estepona, right? The west side of Estepona, obviously. And we actually think that this area, especially because of Cortesin, you know, there's companies like St. Regis, which are opening branded residences. We talked about that with Ian in a video a few.
How much are they now?
Starting price, if I'm not mistaken, was around 1.8 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good value for money. It's St. Regis, Regis stamp, sorry.
I mean, it's nice to see now, because when I first moved to Spain 2 years ago, like Casares and Manilva were like,
A bit cheaper.
There's not that many products, like it's like 300,000, 400,000. And actually, since I started working for you, it has been like Nalu Suites, like all very high,
Yeah, exactly.
high-end quality products.
Yeah, developers are realizing that the area of Cortesin has incredible traction, you know, and people also want to not be in the hustle, the bustle of Marbella. They want more of a relaxed or lifestyle, you know, and Cortesin offers all that. It's like, you know, it's a sort of if you know, you know area, right?
It's very nice. It's not busy, no traffic jams.
Exactly.
Nice golf courses.
Yeah. We're on now our last, number 10. We're going to finish in the area of Manilva. What have you got for us?
I mean, it's quite funny. We start with the beachfront and we end with the beachfront.
Fair enough.
It's a Nouveau. I think it's the most hyped project I've ever seen.
The most?
Hyped.
Hyped.
Like people,
Hyped.
Agents were standing in line to get in.
Yeah, it's true. We were there as well.
Beautiful beachfront development, Manilva. 2 to 4 beds, starting price 900,000. And they actually have like beachfront villas, starting price 2.7 million. I mean, it's on the beach.
So the funny thing is, I think the developer in this development made a big mistake coming to market. So they came to market very messy. It was very messy. There were people, you know, like it's not very common to have people queue up outside developments. In this case, there were people queuing up. Like we couldn't get in. Clients of ours were upset because they couldn't reserve a unit. It was a bit. It was a bit upsetting. Yourself, Kim, myself, and I think like it'll go down in history as the worst launched first days of development ever. Now they've basically taken inventory back and they're dripping inventory to the market. That's how they're selling it because they have to. It's beachfront.
It's still very nice. Beautiful design, big apartments, literally on the sea. Yeah,
exactly. You can literally roll out onto the beach. Okay, so you know what we're gonna do, Matteo, is we're gonna be linking all these developments in the description of the video.
Okay.
And I think like this was super useful. So thanks for joining.
You're welcome.
I know you've got a crazy day ahead, so I'll let you crack on. And it's good to have you. It's your first Costa Insight, right?
It actually is, yeah.
Okay, so we need to get you more on the channel. So for people that don't know Matteo, we call him Thijsman, our sea view specialist. Thanks, Matteo.
You're welcome.
If you guys are interested in this sort of content, you're interested in Costa del Sol, in Spain, property, want to be sort of up to date with what's going on, press that button, subscribe to the High Homes YouTube channel so we can continue producing, you know, content which is relevant to you guys. And if you have any questions on these developments or questions about us or content you'd like us to produce, just like this one, which is tailor-made, comment in the video below. We read all of our comments and we do get back to you. Maybe a bit later we want to, but we do get back to you. So do feel free to ask any questions you do have. And yeah, until the next time.
Perfect.
Hasta luego.